What's up, everybody? It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials, where we chronicle our journey to building a large, successful Medicare book of business. And today, if you are an agent who is currently working direct mail leads or considering getting into the Medicare Final Expense space and going to work Medicare direct mail leads or direct mail leads in general, what I'm going to discuss today is a question I get a lot. Should I just go ahead and door knock these leads? Or should I call ahead and preset the appointments? So I'm going to shed some light on that for you guys today, and this will give you a really good understanding of the difference of the two. I have done both, and you can be successful doing both. But I'll tell you where I started, where I am now on door knocking versus preset appointments, and why. So stay tuned in here. This will be a good video. I want to start out just by pointing out that what I do currently. So right now I have an appointment setter and I preset all of my appointments. I do very little door knocking at this point. Occasionally, if lead flow slows down or the situation's right, I will door knock, but I'm not doing just a whole lot of it. However, when I started doing direct mail leads, those things, I thought they were they might as well have been $1 million a piece. I was buying half of them on credit cards. So I wasn't going to leave anything to chance, and I definitely door knocked every single lead, maybe even more than one time. So why the evolution, why the change, and what are the results? Okay, so door knocking a direct mail lead versus presetting it is not a question of effectiveness, okay? Both can be effective. It's a question of efficiency, okay? So what do I mean by that? I mean that they're both very effective, presetting the appointment and door knocking the lead. I think, in fact, we may even give the nod to door knocking as far as effectiveness. It may be slightly more effective. Why? Because you don't give that prospect the opportunity to wiggle their way out of it. You're showing up, hey, I'm already here. I've got the piece of mail that you filled out. At a certain point, you had some questions about this. It came back to my office. Here I am. I might as well get you checked off my list and take just a few minutes to go over the information that you requested. It's much more difficult for somebody to wiggle their way out or come up with an excuse in person as it is over the phone. And people that talk a big game and are all bark, no bite, they'll be rude over the phone, but then they'll be a completely different person in person. So effectiveness is not a problem with door knocking. It's a very effective way, and I encourage new agents to learn how to door knock and how to present yourself in such a way that you can get into a home just by showing up. But then that is what I did when I sometimes was only getting like 8 direct mail leads a week or 12 to 15 direct mail leads a week. I didn't need to sit there and spend time calling those 15 leads because it would only take me 1 to 1.5 days, depending how many houses I got in, maybe 2 full days, to door knock every single one of those leads. And so it was as you scale up and you're a better closer, you're making more money, your renewals have kicked in, and now you're buying 25, 35, 50 direct mail leads a week. Well, then that changes the game, because I don't have time to door knock 50 people a week at this point. There are enough prospects in that 50 leads. And I'm not saying I work 50 leads every single week, but let's just call it 30 leads, because that's a good average amount of leads. I know that I and my appointment setter are good enough on the phones that I'm gonna book maybe more than half of them, okay? But even if we're conservative and say I book 15 appointments out of those 30 leads, and that person is prepared for me, they're waiting for me, my appointment setter has asked them to have all of their insurance cards out and ready for me, my day is now more efficient. That appointment is no better or worse because I booked it in terms of the ability for them to be sold or be helped. But what I did do was, now that I'm working on a bigger scale, I just wake up, my appointments are preset, they're ready for me, I walk in with more authority, and I'm more efficient throughout the day. If something falls through, my appointment setter knows to list all of my best door knocking opportunities in between appointments. I rarely have to do that because by the time my day's done, I'm normally behind. I'm trying to hurry up and get to the next appointment because I've fallen behind. So to sum it up, let's say this. If you're brand new and you don't even want the opportunity for them to, you don't have a whole lot of leads, you don't want the opportunity for them to say no, start out and learn how to door knock. It's a very effective way to do things. As time goes on and your flow increases over time, do a hybrid model where you just do one triple dial through each lead, book the very low hanging 2 to 3 or whatever. I mean, just for example, 2 or 3 appointments. That'll get you out of bed, got 3 people waiting on you, and door knock the rest of the day. But eventually over time, now you're going into higher and higher lead amounts every week. Now let's just take and work the best 50% of those that we can get on the phone and get in front of. And hopefully we have so many leads that we do not need to maybe even door knock at all, or very little, very seldom. And you might say, someone might argue, well, you're still wasting those leads that never answered the phone. Yeah, that's a product. I mean, that's just a byproduct of doing business. That's a cost of doing business. Ultimately, you're not milking your leads as much because you can afford more leads. Most of them, or a lot of them, are high intent and very good prospects. So we're focusing in on what's going to make us more efficient and make our lives easier over time. I hope that puts it into perspective for you guys. This isn't a hard and fast rule. I wouldn't criticize an experienced agent who still door knocks. And I wouldn't criticize an agent if they had enough lead flow that they never door knocked. And they But that's, I bet anybody's first time getting a direct mail lead, they have that in their head. Which one's going to be more effective? What should I start with? And that should shed some light on it. If you guys want any more expansion on how to work direct mail leads, drop a comment below or shoot me an email and I'll be happy to cover that. Y'all have a great day. Go crush it this week.